Good afternoon to everyone. I will talk today about the Treasury of Memories website and Miles Godba, that's translated in my story, a radio program, which are both kind of projects of my institution. So the Treasury of Memories is a website, documentation hub and platform that collects and publishes video, audio, and written testimonies of Slovenians who have told their personal and family stories to a wide range of listeners. The platform provides the chance to speak to all who wish to do so, who take their narrative to a public level in order to raise awareness and contribute to the efforts that all of the violations of human rights will not be repeated in the future. Most witnesses consent of being published on this public platform, while some others provide their testimonies only for research purposes. And of course, there are different reasons, such as fear that they do not wish to be exposed. They are concerned that their loved ones would bear the consequences of public broadcast, etc. So the Treasury of Memories emerged in public in late 2018 when the Study Center for National Reconciliation celebrated its 10th anniversary. In this decade, the Study Center collected over more than 400 testimonies in written, audio, and video format, which was acquired in various ways. In physical and in digital format, the published materials are collected and archived at the Study Center in the Archive of Testimonies, which is representing an abundant material for research, study, education, and other purposes. The collection is complemented by photographic and documentary materials, which are also kept in the archive at the Study Center. The launch of the website was supported by the Office of the Government of the Republic of Slovenia for Slovenians abroad. Then 2 years ago, in 2021, we enhanced the website with a section called Legacies, where we publish documents from personal collections of individuals who have handed their documentary materials over to the Study Center. And this year, another tab, ebooks, has been added to showcase publications with content tied to the personal stories of witnesses, although this was just added a couple of weeks ago, so it's available only if you search the webpage in Slovenian language. But shortly it will be possible also in Spanish and in English. The themes of the materials collected and published on the website relate to the 20th century, of course, especially the Second World War, the refugee journeys of Slovenes that went to the United States or Latin America, then decades of the totalitarian communist regime, the period of socialism and the path to the independent and free Republic of Slovenia, stretching all the way to the present. In addition to testimonies of Slovenes living in Slovenia, there are also testimonies of Slovenians from North and South America, other parts of Europe, and testimonies from members of Slovenian minorities in neighboring countries of Italy and Austria. In the 20th century, the three totalitarian regimes raged over Slovenia, shaking nation's body to the core. Starting in the 1920s, suffering under fascism left its mark on Slovenians, which were living under Kingdom of Italy after the First World War. Then during the Second World War, fascism and Nazism rocked the foundations of Slovenian existence with the occupation. They employed any means to achieve their goals. Then we also have, of course, revolutionary violence and exploiting the struggle for liberation to take power, which laid the path to the third totalitarian regime, communism, which persisted in its full form for decades after the Second World War. In addition to outlining wartime developments, many memories relate to the first years after the war, which were for many civilians a starting point of the refugee journeys from Austria and Carinthia or Italy across the ocean to the new lands. And also testimonies of some Slovene members of the so-called Home Guards, whom the British authorities in Austria returned to Slovenia which resulted in many executions. For Slovenians who had remained at home, this was a time of lawlessness and police state, denouncing, spying, violations of human rights, rich trails, the destruction of private farming, crafts and internships, surveillance, educational establishments, nationalization, fight against the Catholic Church, and many other manifestations specific to the totalitarian and authoritarian systems. For many, life in public differed from private life, so people practically played kind of a double role, one confined in their own homes and another one in public. This is kind of a very short historical context of the stories that are showcased as witnesses. The testimonies are a rich historical source that complements documentary and archival material in published literature. They also aim to raise awareness and compassionately follow up on victims and their families. They allow us to better understand what violating human rights and delusion of totalitarian ideologies and infringing fundamental human rights and dignity leads to. An important reason to collect the stories is for an individual to face their own personal past and the hardship and trauma they went through. And last but not least, the testimonies are also interesting to the younger generation who can imagine events from recent Slovene history more easily through vivid personal stories. The website first presents a general outline with main content focuses on the mission of the Treasury of Memories, then a historical context of the recorded testimonies and a summary of the post-war refugee issues. The published testimonies are categorized in groups. A basic breakdown divides them into Slovenia with European countries, South and North America. Each account is equipped with a summary outlining and summarizing the story that is told, as well as with photos, keywords, date and place of recording. Testimony can be viewed via video uploaded to YouTube channel. There's also a reflection on why to testify. The Legacies collection tab includes received documentary materials. And of course, there is also a tab on ebooks that I mentioned and contact information for all those that would wish to take part in telling their stories. The website content is translated into English and Spanish. Why Spanish? Because there are many Slovenes living in Latin America, which emigrated there because of political reasons and persecution after 1945. During this year, 2023, the website will be enhanced with a classification, enabling to search for content with various descriptors. The digital elements testimony is equipped with personal descriptors, key topics, keywords, historical period, type of camp or refugee center, type of refugee journey, new country of resident, etc. And through this technical optimization, the website will become clearer, more transparent, more user-friendly. As content creators, we would like to optimize the use of the collected testimonies and increase the number of followers. The website is a rich source for researchers in social sciences engaging in research teams tied to the content of the witness accounts. It is intended for professional and scientific circles, but also used in schools. It aims to witnesses themselves, their family members, and wider interested public. Currently, the website includes 39 personal accounts under the Slovenian and Europe tab, 29 testimonies under the North American tab, and 17 personal accounts under the South American tab. So that's altogether 85 testimonies. 5 documentary legacies are published and described under the Legacies tab, and we continuously update and add new testimonies and legacies practically each month. For the recorded testimonies to achieve even greater outreach and response in the public at large, we started to collaborate with a radio named Radio Ognišče in 2014. Once a week, it broadcasts witness stories in a program entitled Moja zgodba, My Story. Along with the website and web archive of the radio, My Story radio program is a research and documentation hub, writing down, recording, and presenting the fates of persons which suffered under totalitarian regimes in the 20th century. The program started broadcasting in 2005, allowing a wide range of listeners and readers to listen to hundreds of episodes, stories, testimonies, professional discussions, recordings of roundtable debates on human rights violations, and Slovenian history of the 20th century, including the independence. The project is a collaborative effort of the radio, the Study Center, National Museum of Contemporary History of Slovenia, the Commission of the Government of the Republic of Slovenia on Concealed Mass Graves, and some times ago another cooperation was taking part by the Commission of the Government of the Republic of Slovenia for implementing the Readdressing of Injustices Act. Each year, the Study Center contributes 15 episodes of testimonies, as well as panels or recordings of scientific conferences, which are focused on the violation of human rights. The program is broadcasted every Sunday at 8 p.m. and runs for 50 minutes. And at the end of every airing, we invite listeners who would like to tell us their story to personal experience to contact us. The recordings are available also online on the radio's website with all of the rich archive of the program. You can listen it also as a podcast. The reach of the program is very wide.
Mr. Ivešić, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Just please wrap it up as soon as. Okay, thank you. We're running out of time. Thank you.
The podcast is listened by around 7,000 listeners in the first 14 days after it's published, and official statistics of daily listeners of the radio is around 50,000. The great importance of My Story program is also evidence in the acknowledgements that the Slovenian Association of Journalists gave to the main editor, Mr. Jože Bartol. To conclude, we base our work on the experience of comparable institutions for recording oral history that focus on this theme and anthropological historical research into experiences of people in extraordinary times and conditions. And I hope that our experience will be valuable also for other countries. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,